Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 8th, it's January, and it's 2025. And I cannot believe how much activity is going on all at one time. Currently, I am right outside Los Angeles in California, and the wind last night was insane. I took my truck down to my buddy's garage this morning and changed my oil and changed my front brake pads. And the entire street looks like there was a hurricane, except there was no rain. There was no precipitation. It was just wind. Wind to the point where I checked my hotel room door because I thought it was hail. It was unbelievable. And being the East Coast dude that I am, when I pulled up to the motel last night in my truck, I opened my sunroof so the truck didn't get exponentially hot because it's black. Well, the entire truck looks like somebody dumped a litter box inside of it this morning, but that's neither here nor there. But here's the thing. They're doing this. This is happening, and a lot of people seem to be under the impression that this, that, and the other thing are going to happen. And, a couple of years from now, and 2030 has been pushed back to 2025. And I think that should be obvious because instantaneously, on the very first day of the year, they attacked with two soldiers, whatever the story is. We don't even have time to delve into it, but none of it is legit. None of it makes any sense whatsoever at all. But here's the thing. Remember this? Seriously, remember this?
What is happening on February 2nd, 2031 in the United States of America?
In February 2031, the United States of America ceases to exist.
Alexa, what is happening February 20th, 2031 in America?
On February 20th, 2031, the United States of America was formally dissolved as a result of a process of unification that took place in the late 2020s.
Alexa, why does America end in 2031?
From 𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗶.com. The North America region includes the U.S. and Canada, where the U.S. is expected to acquire a major share in 2031 due to the increase in the investment by the exoskeleton manufacturing companies in the country.
So I don't have a script here. I've never used a script. I suck at using scripts. It sounds like I'm reading a script when I read a script. I'm going off memory and all the information that I've been taking in. Plus, I've got a couple of notes on Microsoft Word. But exoskeleton companies, do you know what those are? Yeah. They're robots. You see what I mean? They're robots. And I got to tell you, the little story that Alexa just told is pretty good, but the math is wrong. This is all happening. This has all been sped up. Do you see what I'm saying? And Trump saying that he's going to take over Greenland. He's going to take over Canada. I just got a text this morning from Nicholson 1968, and he sent me a picture, which is really odd because it's this picture. Oddly enough, right here, that I downloaded yesterday. And he sent it to me this morning. You going to open or what are we going to do? It's the 10 kingdoms. Isn't that strange? Greenland, Canada, Alaska, and then Australia? Part of this kingdom? I don't know. I don't know how any of that works, but guess what? That's what Trump's here to do. And the fact that somebody that's not even president comes in and he doesn't talk about anything of relevance that people should be concerned about, like how it cost me $120 to put 20 gallons of gas in my truck yesterday. $120. And my bad. It was only 17 and a half gallons of gas. $120. He didn't talk about that. What he talked about is Canada's got all these trees and oil and natural gas and everything else that we can steal. It's the New World Order, people. Here it is. I've been quacking about it for years. It's here it is. Here it goes. Here it is. Now, something else in this particular video that I was showing you a piece of. Well, let me show you this before I forget.
All hell will be paid. All hell must be paid if they don't release the hostages.
Well, do I have to define it for you? Look, all
No, I know
hell
you're not
will
gonna
break out.
telegraph
If
what-
those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Can you elaborate?
And it will not be good for Hamas and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. But I tell this, I don't want to hurt the negotiation. If the deal isn't done before I take office, which is now going to be 2 weeks, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
You've done a great job.
That is very odd. That is very odd terminology for a president, somebody that's polished, somebody that has teams that tell him what to say and how to react, this, that, and the other thing. All hell will break loose. All hell will break loose. Well, how would you break hell loose? Well, here's a good way to start. And speaking of the Vatican, using these coordinates, these are all the coordinates, longitude and latitude, for all 5 portals, according to the Vatican. That's what they're calling them, portals. All 5 of these, if you take the longitude and latitude, you end up with this. This is the symbol you get when you put a dot on each one of these quote-unquote portals, according to the Vatican, and then you get this symbol. What a weird-looking symbol, right? Well, that symbol turns out to be the sigil of Lucifer. Now, what is a sigil? A sigil is a symbol. Like Confucius once said, signs and symbols rule the world. And indeed they do. Now, people like to think of this all conspiracy stuff as entertainment, because that's what it's turned out to be. I never thought in a million years I'd be making videos after 16 years, 15, 16 years, still beating the same drum. But the entire time we were warning you that they were making their way. They were working their way. They were going forward. They were moving forward. And everything seemed to be really evil. If you think it's a complete and utter coincidence that the Vatican, the largest quote-unquote, I can't even say it, the largest Catholic church on earth with the more power than pretty much anything, literally just did this, which is really this. If you don't think they understand what it is they're doing, and if you don't understand that all of this is incredibly evil, I don't know what else to tell you. But here's another fun little fact. This place, CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, with their prominently displayed and never changed 666, literally just came out in the news and said they discovered magic. And I already told you about this, but this just happened in December of 2024, just a few weeks ago. But they have discovered magic. Okay, so you've got the Vatican claiming they're opening doors, one of them that's never been opened before, which is a prison. You've got the Vatican calling them portals. You've got the Vatican doing something totally unprecedented, never before seen ritual. Those are the words of the Vatican, not me, not you, not anybody else. The Vatican. Never before done ritual, and it's a 25-year jubilee. Well, jubilees are 50 years, but on that, I'll digress. So you've got CERN discovering magic. You've got the Vatican opening these keys. You've got Trump telling them that all hell's going to break loose. And then the second 2025 starts, terror attack. Both people are tied to Fort Bragg, which does have a large contingent of psyops inside, but they're not the only one. And then we've got all sorts of different things going on. You've got 5 terrorists driving around near SpaceX looking to blow it up, which doesn't really make all too much sense. You've got a bunch of other things going on. You got the guy in the cowboy hat walking. Just a lot of things. But it's nonstop, every day, all the time. But let me ask you, what would hell on earth look like, do you think? It might look something like this. This is straight from a subscriber from California, and I'm right down the road from this. You know what I'm saying? And it might look something like this, because one of my subscribers sent this morning. This is crazy. This is Los Angeles right now. Imagine you're in a house and it looks like this. But what does this have to do with CERN? What does this have to do with the Vatican? What does this have to do with magic? Well, let me show you. So everybody's seen this mystery object by now, flying straight through the smoke and the clouds, and some people are like, "Oh, that's firefighting. Those are smoke jumpers. They're firefighters." Dude, it is exactly what it looks like. That isn't an airplane or a helicopter or anything like that. That is an unknown entity flying through the sky, and you're probably thinking to yourself, Richie, come on, man. It's something, it's this, it's that, it's a wiffle ball bat. Well, guess what? It doesn't get better. It gets worse because these things are all over the place in California, and everybody's catching them on video, and they're being caught by video cameras like weather cameras, etc. These things are showing up everywhere. Watch this little guy right here, watch him. He's got a tail on him, he's pausing, he's flying, comes down to the ground apparently. These are all over the place. White and black entities frolicking in the wildfires apparently. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Watch this in slow motion. So you already saw the white one that everyone saw in the national news, but here's another one on the national news, and they continue. And some of them are completely black. There's white and black entities flying throughout the absolute skies while these fires are raging on. It's crazy. It's crazy. But this is what you would expect to see when you have things like the Vatican. See it right there? Yeah. What do you suppose that little fellow was? Just cruising around. Do you understand over a fire of this magnitude with the 80 to 100 mile an hour winds? There ain't nothing living flying around up there. See it? See it? Just flying around, taking lefts, taking rights, going up, going down, back, forth, upside down, doing whatever they want. Nothing to see here, folks. These things are all over the place. There's another one. There's another one. Could they be drones? Maybe, but they're leaving a long tail behind them just like that. Just like they did in Israel, just like they did the other videos where myself and a couple of other channels were showing you this stuff. This is what happens when the Vatican opens portals. And this is what happens when CERN discovers magic. Because what is magic? Magic is an application of beliefs, rituals, or actions employed in the belief that they can manipulate natural or supernatural beings and forces. It is a category into which have been placed various beliefs and practices sometimes considered separate from both religion and science. Well, isn't that a kick in the dick? Religion and science. Because here's the Vatican opening certain doors that just happen to lay out on the map as an enormous sigil to summon Lucifer. You can't, period. There's no two ways about this. Here's the coordinates. Punch them in, tie them together, and boom. You get me. No, you get the sigil of Lucifer. And then, at the exact same time that the Vatican's doing that, CERN comes out and decides they discovered magic. Oh, Richie, they didn't mean they know exactly what magic means, okay? Because magic, for time immemorial, since day one, has always been diving into the supernatural, messing with other things. We see Geordie Rose doing it. We see Elon Musk doing it. We see everybody that's messing with high technology going to other dimensions to get information and make deals. And now we're seeing it playing out because this is insane. Look how many of these things show up. And I can't help but notice that every place I go, there's some sort of a giant event. I'm in Louisiana, somebody drives to a bunch of people. At any rate, this is in California again. You see the happy little white dude rolling there with his tail behind him? This is on the Santa Monica Beach camera, okay? They're catching all this stuff. It's showing up everywhere, and they don't seem to care because they know people are too distracted, dumbed down, fluoridated, medicated, inebriated, intoxicated to even understand what is going on. But these things are absolutely everywhere now. Literally. This is no joke. And this is how you do it. These are the consequences from science and magic. Science and religion using magic to manipulate unseen forces, both natural and supernatural. This is what it looks like. It just doesn't end. There's another one right there, cruising all around, flying in a completely unnatural way. Flies way up, stops on a dime, turns around, goes the other way. and they're leaving a mysterious trail behind them, okay? And the fact that they're white and black, maybe the white ones are angels, but I really don't think they are. I really don't think they are, because all this has to come to pass. And because we were giving dominion over everything, we've inadvertently allowed this to occur. Now, many times I've said, we were born into this. We were born into this. Well, people with regular childhoods, if that's even a thing, I've heard people that have had regular childhoods, and to me it sounds like a made-up story, because my childhood was unbelievably horrible. You know, you've got your mother and your father, the two people on earth that are supposed to love you more than anything. Neither one of mine did at all, whatsoever, period. And they made it pretty well known, you know what I mean? I forget what I was just talking about. Totally honest, I forget what I was talking about, because that kind of bummed me out. But people don't understand that this is occurring. This is occurring. This is what it all looks like. And I just wanted to get this out there real quick. None of this is natural. This is all supernatural. This cause and effect. CERN discovers magic, the Vatican opens portals, and now all of a sudden we've got mystery objects flying around in fires, okay? In fires. And they don't look like drones, because they look exactly like the things that we saw on Israeli TV when they were attacking whoever they were attacking that particular day. All hell will break loose. All hell will break loose. Yeah. Real quick, let me show you this email I just got. One of my subscribers sent this email to the author of Confusion in Christianity. And it's funny because she's right. Hello, Mr. Stefano. My name's Tina. I've been an avid Richie from Boston subscriber for nearly a decade. When I first listened to him, I was intrigued by his information, but couldn't handle his cursing. Oh, that's kind of lame, because I never swore like I swear in real life, or at the time. I kept it. I mean, if I swear every once in a while, ooh, look at that, Freeman. Yeah, whatever, dude. All right, it happens. People move their hands. If a swear every once in a while upsets you that much, you're going to love the New World Order. You're going to love this. But at any rate. So I would just check in on his content once in a while. However, in 2019, he was the only one speaking truth on the upcoming pandemic. Because if you recall, I told you it was coming before anybody else even mentioned it. I told you the pandemic was coming before it showed up. How do you do that? I couldn't tell you, but I did. Whatever. I then began to follow him consistently. Since then, I've seen him grow in his blah, 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 his demeanor. He worked on his vocabulary. I watched him excel, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward. Long story longer is, she bought the book I was telling people about just so she could go, aha, you're being misled. And guess what? Yeah, she found out that it was actually legit. He's not reinterpreting or misinterpreting or twisting words like certain people do. Like this guy. This guy is allegedly a preacher.
Stop claiming that the 10 Commandments prohibit lying. That's not true. The 10 Commandments prohibit bearing false witness against your neighbor. Okay. We finally get to my conclusion on the matter of lying and deception, and that is this. After carefully looking at both sides of the debate, and after taking a very deep dive into everything I could possibly find in Scripture regarding lying and deception, I have come to the conclusion that neither lying nor deception are inherently immoral.
Okay, so that fella right there, Will Duffy, if you don't know who he is, good for you, because I didn't either. But suddenly, he's the man in charge of taking several, deep inside the rabbit hole, Dave Weiss, the guy that I had on live streams many, many years ago, but then I dropped him like a bad habit, or even quicker, when he went on Alex Jones and made himself look like an absolute sellout, because Alex Jones is COINTELPRO. And he said, I know that. He's told me, I know that. But I did it anyways just to reach an audience. You don't do that. You don't do that because you muddy the water. At any rate, all these guys went on there, including this dude named Jeranism. I don't like Jeranism. I never did. He popped up about 8 or 9 years ago. and suddenly he was in charge of the flat earth. I know what shape the earth is, but I don't belong to the flat earth community. I absolutely give my entire life over to the Most High and Jesus Christ, but I don't belong to a religion. Do you see what I mean? You don't have to. These guys just literally claim that they debunked the entire flat earth, and Jeranism has come out and said he is now a globe earther. Isn't the timing really peculiar that all these people that nobody cares about whatsoever at all fall in line exactly with the Vatican opening portals, CERN discovering magic, some people claiming they went into Antarctica, but all their proof is absolutely garbage, saying that the earth isn't flat, because they need the earth not to be flat, because there are going to be powers, principalities, fallen angels, and things from the bottomless pit that they're going to disguise as UFOs, and you can't do that on a flat earth. I hope I didn't lose my train of thought here. I probably did, but it is what it is. This isn't the only video. Another will be coming later, but excuse me, I had to put this out because this is insane. This is utterly insane. Those things aren't drones. Drones look completely and entirely different. At any rate, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I'm out.